Everyone is watching XRP the wrong way. Retail, staring at price candles, daily headlines, but institutions, they're quietly solving, well, a much bigger problem here, a global liquidity crisis. The next phase of this market, it's not about hype or trading volume, it's about collateral. It's about moving trillions of dollars in real-world assets, bonds, funds, real estate, all on chain, and not because it's cool, but because the old system is quite literally failing. And here's the hard truth most people, they don't want to hear. By the time this becomes obvious to the general public, the opportunity, it won't be starting. It's already mature. The easy money, it's gone forever. In this video, I'm going to show you how Ripple is positioning itself to be the infrastructure for this exact shift and the specific market signals that tell you this transition, it's already underway. Let's look at this first chart. Ripple put this out in their RWA report. This is a focus of theirs because they know how much growth there is to capture. Look at that 2025, where we are. Essentially nowhere. And the growth, the meteoric growth that's coming right around the corner here and bringing funds and equities, real estate, deposits, stablecoins, treasury, all on chain. That's the opportunity here. In the very specific industries that Ripple is targeting, investment in corporate banks, private banking and wealth management, retail, universal banking. We have payments and fintech, of course, technology and digital, and government and regulators. Government has to deal with money in the same way. And so this is important. RWAs are going to bring so much efficiency. When we take a look at this, for investment grade bonds, for someone that is, annually issuing $100 billion in bonds, they're going to save 40 to 60 million. A real estate fund, it could save between 100 and 150 million annually. They estimate that a fund that controls 5 billion assets under management, it could boost its money by 20% because you're breaking this up into visible pieces and more people could participate. 20% more assets under management. That's a big difference. And you are saving costs annually. And look at this category. Ripple is salivating over this. Trade finance and working capital. Right up their alley. And look at that. That also has the biggest cost savings between $2 and $4 billion. A massive opportunity for growth and, just onboarding real world activity. This is where it's at. Tokenization, RWAs, it's already starting with stablecoins. It's going to expand to every other asset out there. It is absolutely massive. Now, real quick, if you're finding value in this analysis and you want to stay ahead of the crowd on XRP and institutional crypto topics, hit that subscribe button. I'm covering this on a daily basis so you don't miss the next leg up. Take a look at this chart here. And this is from Canton Network. And it's their growth analysis here. Let me resize it a bit for you. Of, again, RWAs. And we see where we are from 2020. This is minor. This is hobbyist. 1.5 billion in totality. And where we are now, $36 billion and growing. And that's still a drop in the bucket. And what they go on to say is, well, that's impressive. That's big time growth. Going from 1.5 billion to 36 billion, while impressive, RWA market is still dwarfed by stablecoins, which boast a total value of $295 billion. Basically, what they're saying is, what do you think is going to happen? Those stablecoins, they're not going to stay stagnant, right? They're going to come ripping over into RWAs. They're going to take that capital and deploy it into on-chain bonds and equities and everything else. And that's just going to blow up RWAs in a huge way here. Now, this is an interesting chart here. There's two sides of it. Aave Horizon, that is their permission DEX, much like what Ripple's trying to build. And we see there 520 million in total market size. And then we have their fully decentralized DEX, 19 billion. Now, a lot of people will look at that and say, well, there's no demand, of course, for permission decentralized exchanges. What I would say is they're just waiting for regulations, and you are going to see so much growth in that area. Ripple's building that out. We have that functionality now in the XRP Ledger. Everyone. BlackRock, their BIDL platform is permission. They have to know who they're interacting with, who is allowed in those systems. So you're going to see a ton of growth here in these permission decentralized exchanges. But the good thing is, once you're okayed, you can trade on those, and then you can pull your value off to the blockchain in the form of stablecoins to have instant liquidity. Everyone's trying to solve this problem. And again, XRP Ledger is going to be a good tool to do exactly that. Ondo saying the following: access to U.S. capital markets has been gated in the past. And while stablecoins have been great, and they point that out, I mean, we just talked about how big stablecoins are. They're saying RWAs are going to be a magnitude larger, billions and billions of dollars. You have billions of people out there that are underserved with wealth management tools, treasury funds, retirement accounts, access to good investments. Much like David Schwartz said, that's the key. It's not some wild investment. It's just general, traditional, solid investments. Bringing that stuff on chain, you can offer that to the broader world, right? Bring those people into the modern system, and it's going to be so much money in total. It's going to be much bigger than stable coins. It's just around the corner here. Now, peeking into next year, this report here is from Grayscale, and they're looking for valuations in crypto to rise in 2026 and put an end to the so-called 4-year cycle. So many people are saying, well, in the past, it'd be all over. Grayscale saying no, not right now. We're going to see massive growth going forward. And again, we see the areas of growth here. A debasement of fiat currencies. Fed is going to have really loose and dovish fiscal policy. The money printer at full blast. People recognize that. They're going to want to escape that system. Of course, regulatory clarity. Everyone's saying that's going to happen next year. It's just a matter of time. That's going to be bullish. And that's going to lead to adoption of digital asset infrastructure. Huge. Stablecoins are going to continue to grow. RWAs, again, they point that out. Privacy, AI, and DeFi accelerates with lending. Again, another area they're focusing on, the XRP Ledger, where it can have a lot of value there. Further, we see right now the digital asset marketplace. It has went from a hobbyist level to an actual asset class, a mid-sized alternative asset class, and it's going to keep going up the charts as we go forward. Now, the Zhao DAO here. Don't just watch the XRP Ledger grow, profit from it. Join the Zhao DAO to participate in the ecosystem's future and have a real voice. We invest in real XRP-based businesses, and members share in the rewards. Connect instantly with your Salmon or your Bifrost wallet and claim your seat at the table here. This is the future of decentralized technology. The builders in Ripple, the third-party builders in XRPL Labs, the educators and XRPL Commons, and the Zhao DAO. That is us, the community. Use your Salmon and your Bifrost wallet. Join today. $10 payable in XRP for lifetime membership. Look at this. Cumulative effect of global crypto ETPs. With the launch of the U.S. spot ETF there, January 2024. Look at the growth here. It is huge. It is massive. And that's going to continue. That's going to happen for the broader crypto space as we go forward. And we saw Grayscale. They said that's going to continue. We're going to have more ETF products, more access to crypto. And it's going to be huge for altcoins, especially with the Fed pivoting monetary policy, going from a restrictive standpoint to one that is going to support growth. They're going to have to defend those job markets. And that's an environment you want to be in, altcoins here. And this is another interesting chart here. What it shows is previously bear markets have always broke out when the Fed went restrictive. When the Fed tightened monetary policy, what are they doing now? They're doing the opposite. We have not been in this situation in a late cycle when the Fed is going to go dovish, when they're going to open that balance sheet, when they're bringing down the interest rate. That's going to be exciting to see how that plays out. We have not seen that before. Every time we went into a bear market, the Fed was tightening. Not this time. We will see what happens in 2026. As we look at RWAs, one of the big things is stock trading, right? And the problem is this. 3 seconds in crypto, it's fast. But when we look at even the fastest blockchains out there, Sui is probably the most capable. It couldn't handle stock trading. When you look at high-frequency trading, you really need to settle quickly, and no one can do it. And so that's what Yellow does. It's a layer 3. Chris Larson put $10 million investment into this company, and this is going to be big because you have to have some other system that's able to settle fast enough and handle the throughput for high-frequency trading as you bring everything online. And then what happens on something like Yellow Network, you do all your second-to-second trading in microseconds, right? And then you settle onto the blockchain, whether it's XRP Ledger, Ethereum blockchain, whatever it may be. Systems like this are imperative as we bring everything on chain. Lastly, looking into next year, I hope that would happen in 2025. We haven't got the official announcement. A lot of rumors out there that Bitstamp will be rolling out regulated derivatives trading. on the XRP Ledger. We'll see if that develops, but if it does, it's really Bitstamp and Robinhood. That's a big third party, outside of Ripple, bringing on major systems on the XRP Ledger. That will be as bullish as it gets. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.